Did you know that Bobbi Brown brushes are now all synthetic? In this video, I will show you how to distinguish those new synthetic Bobbi Brown brushes from the old natural hair ones. As I mentioned in my 2 brush videos, I came across Bobbi Brown brushes due to a misunderstanding. What happened was, while most of my brushes were from MAC, I had an old powder brush which was Korean. Although it was a really nice brush, it was very old and the handle was damaged. So I was wishing to replace it with MAC one someday to unify all my brushes. But as it was a big brush, it was also quite pricey. So I was hesitating to purchase one. When I finally decided to buy it, I realized MAC had replaced all their natural hair bristles with synthetic ones. I actually tried some of them, but they look already quite different from the old ones. They are not really spread or fluffy, but they were all gathered together, making the top surface much smaller. And also they didn't pick up powder products very well. So my desperate search for natural hair brushes began. On one hand, I searched for old used MAC brushes. And at the same time, I also looked around other brands. Then I found Bobbi Brown webpage, where they didn't mention anything, which material is used for their bristles. I knew in old time they had natural hair brushes. So I just assumed that they didn't make any change. So I ordered their powder brush. Simultaneously, I wrote an email inquiry to make sure that the brush I ordered is with natural hair. But then I got a reply that since May 2019, all the brushes from Estee Lauder company, where Bobbi Brown is also belong to, are made out of synthetic hairs only. That was September 2019. So actually just a few months after that. So I asked them, I already ordered one brush, which is on the way. If there is any chance that that brush is from the remaining stock of natural hair brushes. They said everything I received from them would be now synthetic version. And they have got no idea if other shops still carry some stock of old natural hair brushes. I also asked if I could tell by the look of it if it's natural or synthetic, and they said no. MAC brushes are at least clearly marked with S at the end of the numbering. Finally, the brush I ordered arrived. I was allowed to open it and have a look, so I did. Firstly, it looked quite different from the photo. It didn't have that pointy end. And most of all, the bristles were all gathered together, just like MAC synthetic ones. So I just returned it. So again, I began to search for used Bobbi Brown brushes. I thought in that case it must be easier than MAC ones, because it was not long ago since they changed their bristles. So for the second-hand ones, I always asked when they got it. And I also bought some brushes from a small perfumery who doesn't seem to have much traffic. But one day, when I examined one brush very carefully, because I was not sure if it was authentic, I found a batch code engraved on the handle. You know, I made a video about how to read batch codes of Estee Lauder company products. The batch code system for the brushes were exactly same. Furthermore, those new synthetic brushes had an S at the end of their codes. As an example, we can have a look at my full coverage touch-up brush. Because it was originally synthetic, I didn't care to get a newer version. If you hold the brush name towards you, then you can find it at the end. Here it says A29S. The first three letters or numbers are the batch code. That means it's made in 2019. And at the end, you can see the letter S. To compare, let's have a look at one of the old version of the brush, my blush brush. So again, brush name towards you, and at the end, here you see only the batch code, A88. So there you have it. Why didn't they just tell me about this in the first place? They changed their bristles secretly, keeping the price tags. And they even tried to hide how I could distinguish those synthetic ones from the natural hair ones. It is quite sad that they don't produce natural hair brushes anymore. And it's even more sad that they try to hide the transition, as it will be more and more difficult to find the old versions. I'm taking great care of my brushes because they now have to last me a lifetime. I really hope this video was helpful. Thanks all for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye!